I grew up, as I'm sure people of my generation know, doesn't matter if you grew up in Sydney or you grew up along the north coast of northern New South Wales, the Pacific Highway has so many sad stories. Tragic, terrible stories. Horrible bus crashes, terrible accidents, families going away for Christmas holidays or Easter holidays, and it ending in terrible tragedy. And I remember watching it on the news when I was younger, and as the years went on, and people would say, someone needs to do something about this. This has to be fixed. Well, it's fixed. 30 years of hard work, 30 years of commitment, now gets us to this stage where we can join together and say, we got that done. And it was so important to get it done. The fatalities on the section we're talking about here from Hexham all the way through to the border, 40 a year prior to all of this. We've now got it down well below 20 a year. And there's still work to do. We will always keep working to improve all of this. But it is such a relief to know, for all of us who remember those chilling and awful images and the calls for something to be done, to know that something has been done, something has got done. And I want to thank everyone who's played their role in making this happen. Of course, the voices of the local communities all along the Pacific Highway, whose cries were heard and have been answered. To those who lost loved ones on this stretch of road, this is bittersweet. I'm sure they're very pleased that their cries have gone answered now, but equally they remember those who they lost. And as they drive along this separated stretch of road now, all the way from Hexham up to the border, of course they will be pleased about that, but wish it was different when their own loved ones were travelling through those areas. We can't change that. What we could change is this road, and it has been changed. I particularly want to thank my coalition family. That's the Liberals and the Nationals, and a broader coalition, which is the federal government and the state government. This is a coalition project that has brought together people over many, many years, going back to when John Howard was involved and Tim Fisher all those years ago, through to most recently now with Michael and I, and of course with Gladys and John and the team here at a state level. And I'm sure everyone who has played a hand in this will be very pleased to see this now having been achieved. I'm also really pleased to have been part of a government since 2013 that put the pedal right down on getting this done. Prior to 2013, this was being funded 50-50. But in truth, it was being funded 20-20. Less than half of what was needing to be invested in particularly this last section, which was spent over $5 billion on to get this last section completed. It wasn't being spent. And we went to that election in 2013 and we told the people of northern New South Wales that if you elected the coalition government back then, we would get this done and we would restore the 80-20 funding, and that's what we've done. And now it is there for everyone to see, and more importantly, to be able to use and to use safely. I can't think of a more significant infrastructure project in the last 30 years that has probably had more impact on people's lives than this one, particularly in this part of the country. And so I stand here today incredibly grateful for all of those who made it happen, the engineers, the designers, the workers, all of those who made this possible. But frankly, at the end of the day, the taxpayers of New South Wales and the Commonwealth, who at the end of the day foot the bill. So thank you very much to them and for making that possible. To Gladys, again, thank you so much for the partnership with New South Wales Government. It's a great partnership. We're getting a lot done. And but this is a very happy day to say that we got this done. And the person who's been driving that for us over many years now is the Deputy Prime Minister at a federal level, who's seen through the vision of those who preceded us and made sure this has happened on the ground from a Commonwealth level. Just before I do that, I do also want to acknowledge very, very briefly, but importantly, the terrible loss of a farmer up in the Southern Downs in Queensland who was tragically lost his life as he was looking to shepherd his livestock to safer pastures. It is a terrible reminder that in 1 year we will be hit by fires, and in the next year we'll be hit by La Nina, and we'll be hit by floods and cyclones and those sort of extreme weather events. We're working very closely together, obviously, with the New South Wales Government, but also with the Queensland Government, to ensure that we can do everything we can to support people who are being devastated or impacted by these events. The DRFA funding here for Northern New South Wales has been activated, which is a partnership between the New South Wales and the Federal Government. And the Premier and I will take the opportunity later today to go and get an update on how things are progressing there. But on this occasion, it's about a wonderful road that is open, and I look forward to plenty of people travelling it safely, and particularly those locals who travel it every day.